Welcome back. If it is joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you from Lagos. A reminder of our major stories tonight. Lagos records 2 major fire incidents on Sunday as emergency agencies call for vigilance as the new dry season sets in. The Nigerian Army reiterates its determination for an improved military-civilian relationship in the country. UN Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed asks Nigeria to invest more in education of girls in order to boost its development. And Iraqi government forces seize several villages as they move towards an assault in the last area held by the Islamic State in Mosul. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our websites channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. A reminder here that having the Channels TV and Channel 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. An estimated 8 million northern children are engaged in the Almajiri system, an Islamic school system common in northern Nigeria, in Chad and in Niger Republic. But 3 years down the line, there seems to be more challenge on improving the lives of these children. Here in Nigeria, some of the schools built for the Almajiris have been handed over to the internally displaced persons, and many fear the Almajiri situation might degenerate further if something is done about it.
These children you see on the streets in the northern part of the country are called Almajiris. They are the out-of-school boys who roam the streets in search of daily meals. They are homeless and sometimes easy converts for crime. It is for such children that schools for the Almajiris are built, but guess what? You hardly find them there as they choose to remain on the streets.
I want to be a president someday, and when I become a leader, I will help the poor and also assist the Almajiris. I also want government to assist us in our education and provide food for us.
This Almajiri school is located in Shabu Local Council Development Area of Lafia North, Nasarawa State, and situated 7 kilometers away from the capital city. The school is deserted and the premises empty. Although reports say the place has been allocated to the IDPs.
For the problem we had in 2013 and 12, where we have so many communal clashes, and that we are unable to, that school was unable to take up, and it has been occupied by the displaced persons. However, in no distant time, the state government is making serious frantic efforts to ensure that that one also take off. We have decided to have an additional recruitment of staff. You know, staffing is very important, and equally arrangement is on the way to ensure that light and water were also provided there.
The stories of the Almajiris are not different in Bauchi and Kaduna. These children also roam the streets despite attempts to integrate the Almajiri school system into basic education system. In the case of Kwara State, no Almajiri school was built during the last administration when a lot of funds were committed to the construction of such schools.
When you talk of Almajiri, it has to do with children roaming about the streets asking for alms. Here we don't have it. There was a meeting we attended early this year with World Bank over out-of-school children. And we are working on those that are out of school, why are they? Not necessarily that those that are out of school are Almajiri. There are a number of factors that we are discovering as to why they are not in school. And that's what we are working about. We are working on it. I think before the end of this term, we should be able to get a sizable or reasonable number of figures, which will forward to His Excellency before onward transmission to the World Bank.
For Nigeria to achieve the global education goal, the interest of these young children should also be a priority, particularly now that the government is making efforts to reduce the crime rate in the northern region. For education experts, what is paramount now is not only how to get the children into the school system, but how to make them remain in the schools.
The Niger Delta was filled with hope over the news of discovery of crude oil in 1956. But years after exploration, the story of degradation of the land, pollution of the environment are often told by the people. In this special report, our correspondent Emmanuel Ere revisits the United Nations Environment Programme report on the cleanup of Ogoni land and also brings to the fore the demands of the Niger Delta people.
The Delta stretches over 20,000 square kilometers within the wetlands of 70,000 square kilometers, formed primarily by sediment deposition, with the floodplain making up to 7.5% of Nigeria's total land mass. And according to a UNDP report, over 6,800 oil spills have occurred in the region, releasing about 1.5 million tons of crude oil into the ecosystem, leading to widespread environmental pollution from the activities of oil companies, causing agitations by pressure and militia groups like the Movement of the Niger Delta, Movement for the Survival of Ogoni People, and the Niger Delta Avengers, all making these demands.
I don't think anything is too much to be sacrificed for this region, and we are not asking for too much. 10% of the total revenue of this country is not too much for this region. And what is required to develop this region? Because if you don't solve these issues, fundamental issues, this problem will keep coming and we'll keep on having meetings like this.
In Ogoni, at least 10 communities are reported to have their drinking water contaminated with high levels of hydrocarbons.
This cleanup is for the benefit of the people of Ogoni land and
June 2nd, 2016, for many of the Ogonis marked the beginning of a new era of restoration with the launch of the cleanup exercise through the implementation of the UNEP report. Some recommendations of the UNEP report include creation of Ogoni Restoration Authority, creation of Environmental Restoration Fund for Ogoni land, emergency measures in drinking water, taking proactive steps against theft and illegal refining. But some, however, grew impatient with the seeming slowness of the process.
We cannot sleep even in the night because of the odor of the crude oil. We cannot sleep. Even when the gas come out from the crude oil, you see the thing peppers our eyes.
Every day I continue to go to the hospital with my children, with my husband, because of all this crude oil. Good fish we cannot take in. If you want to eat fish now, it will smell crazy and crude.
Ledumiti is a former president of the Movement for the Survival of Ogoni People and a lawyer. He believes more needs to be done in the implementation of the UNEP report.
I raised the issues about some of those who were supposed to even drive the UNEP report. I raised the issue about two of those people who were supposed to drive the UNEP end of that project, who were just Shell employees who just dropped from Shell and now became UNEP the next day. And I said, that does not infuse the confidence of our people. Among the agreements we reached was that those people were going to be dropped. And then the whole process, that which we now know the UNEP report came about. Somehow, as you know, it stayed in the burners for all the years. It came with high prep, which hardly scratched the surface of what people were doing.
Meanwhile, at a recent session on Niger Delta matters, the acting president gives a picture of what has been done since after the launch.
River State is unarguably our oil and gas capital, hosting as it does many of our onshore and oil and gas fields. It's of course also home to the Ogoni people, who symbolize in many eyes, especially internationally, the previous neglect of the Niger Delta and the environmental damage that has been done to that area, as we have exploited oil and gas to grow the rest of the Nigerian economy.
And then, on the 16th of February, the outgoing Minister of Environment leads the Governing Council, Board of Trustees on the Ogoni cleanup, government officials and other guests for the groundbreaking ceremony of the Contamination Soil Management Center in Kana local government area and a cleanup demonstration at the project site. This ceremony signals the beginning of practical steps in the cleanup of Ogoni land that is to last for as long as 25 years, according to the UNEP report, the success of which can become a template for the cleanup of the Niger Delta region. Emmanuel Iri, Channels Television News.
The Anambra State's Governor Willie Obiano has received a team of health professionals known as Doctors Without Borders, whose personnel are drawn from various countries and are established in 65 countries with their headquarters in France. They are to partner with the Anambra State government in improving the health standards of people living in the rural communities of the state. While in the state, the group will focus on sanitation, water and primary health care delivery.
At the Governor's Lodge, the delegation of health professionals, otherwise known as Doctors Without Borders, led by the project coordinator, Dr. Geoffrey Bays. They're here to brief the governor on their work to provide health care to the rural communities in the state.
From their selection on what they had, they said that they want to start with local. And they want to concentrate on sanitation, water, and primary health. From there, they will scale to other areas because we know we show that some areas in Anambra West and East, those are the variety areas. They know about it. They don't want to concentrate on sanitizing other people.
The leader of the team commends the state government for its support and states that the basic principle of the association is to render free health services to the people, adding that they receive support from donor agencies.
We have been here now for some weeks at the college and the water sanitation. I've been doing daily visits in Okoko, in the difficult area, to make a deep assessment of the way of the people are living and what they are missing. So based on this, we have now just started the water borehole, and we will carry on in the future.
Appreciating the effort of the medical team, the governor says the initiative is consistent with his health policy, and in the establishment of the trauma center, he pledges strong support for the facility as to ensure adequate healthcare delivery for the rural communities.
Why this is particularly of interest to us is that you're concentrating in the hard-to-reach areas and those kinds of people that we want to lift in terms of their living standards, health and environment and what have you. Typifies that kind of settlements that we have there.
The team will collaborate with the state to achieve several health results, such as the trauma center, help support the 526 primary health centers, the 37 general hospitals, and the 2 teaching hospitals in the state.
When the News at 10 returns, our community report tonight takes a look at the plights of residents of Wuna in Gwewalada area of the Federal Capital Territory who have no access to clean, potable water. Do join us again.